I'll do what I want in my own yard. Okay, I'll make it impossible to enjoy your air. Last spring, my longtime neighbor, a sweet older woman, sold her home and moved out. Her replacement? Pete. Pete came roaring into our peaceful subdivision with a black Mustang that sounded like it had no muffler and no off switch. Every evening, 5 days a week, like clockwork, he'd rip up and down our quiet streets, revving his engine like he was auditioning for Fast and Furious, suburban drift. This neighborhood is the kind of place where folks sit on their porches in the evening, TVs on, drinks in hand. Pete made that impossible. His car was loud enough to shake windows, and even worse on the nearby state highway where he'd do the same thing, only faster and louder. As if that wasn't enough, his backyard gatherings always included a rev fest, his buddies taking turns blipping the throttle like teenage gearheads at a gas station meet. The HOA Facebook group lit up. Dozens of neighbors politely asked Pete to chill out. His response, "I pay a lot of money for this house. I'll do what I want in my own yard." And of course, the streets are public. Cool. If Pete got to do what he wanted in his yard, so did I. Our subdivision has generous lots. Most homes sit on 1 to 4 acres. I'm on a 3-acre corner. Pete, he lives on the smallest property in the neighborhood, just under half an acre, hemmed in on 3 sides by towering privacy fences. The only side of his property not walled in, the one facing mine. Years ago, I had moved my fire pit away from that side of my yard. My previous neighbor hated the smoke, and I respected that. But now, I suddenly remembered how much I loved having fires in the middle of my yard. I relocated the pit back to its original spot over a weekend. The timing was perfect. Pete had friends over. His Mustang was growling, and I decided it was time for my own brand of therapy. I lit a fire, not just any fire, but one made with the wettest, nastiest wood I could find. Within 10 minutes, Pete and his crew were coughing, waving their arms, heading indoors. When they returned, I stoked it again, this time adding damp leaves for extra punch. They retreated once more. That night, I tossed on grass clippings so it smoldered through the evening. By morning, the stench still hung in the air. I posted in the HOA group offering to take any and all lawn scraps for my backyard fire pit revival. Within hours, I had a dozen offers. Turns out a lot of people had clippings and a mutual dislike of revving engines. Every time Pete stepped into his backyard, my dogs would alert me, and I'd be out there in seconds tossing on fresh clippings or moist pine logs. I kept it up for 3 solid weeks. Eventually, Pete and his wife came over, hats in hands, looking sheepish. She politely mentioned that the smoke was overwhelming their yard, even seeping into their house. He added that it made it hard for him to enjoy his time outside with friends. I looked at them both and calmly said that sometimes we don't realize how much our actions affect others until someone shows us. Then I added that I live by the same philosophy Pete had shared. I'll do what I want in my own yard. Pete blinked. His wife stared at him as the dots connected. She got it. She turned to me and said, "You won't hear the Mustang again." I nodded. "Thanks." That night, I put out the fire. Since then, no revving, no roaring engines, just quiet evenings and the occasional whiff of pine from my yard. We haven't really spoken since, but that's fine by me.